The Cubs had a 3-game series against the Los Angeles Angels, so we're going to look over all 3 of those games. We're going to look at what went right and what went wrong. All of that is happening on this episode of Cubs 360. What's up, Cubs fans? It's Jack from Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 41 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Los Angeles Angels series. So let's get right into it. So in game number 1, at the top of the first, Anderson pitching for the Angels. Hoerner will ground out to third. Tucker hits a home run right center field. So he finally hits a home run for the first time in like a month, and the Cubs are off and running up 1-0. Suzuki will fly out to left, and Turner struck out swinging. In the bottom of the first, Javier Assad pitching for the Cubs. Zach Neto will strike out swinging. Shenwell will ground out to first, and Mike Trout will ground out to third. In the top of the second, Kelly struck out swinging. Happ will foul out to first, and PCA struck out swinging. In the bottom of the second, Ward will fly out to right. Moncada will ground out to second, and Adell will ground out to short. In the top of the third, Swanson will get walked, as well as Shaw. Nico Hoerner hits a base at the center to load the bases. Kyle Tucker struck out swinging, but then Suzuki will hit a sac fly to left to score Swanson and make it 2-0 Cubs. Then Turner will line out to left. In the bottom of the third, Ohapi struck out swinging. Moore will foul out to right. Teodosio will get hit by the pitch, and then Nato will fly out to left. In the top of the fourth now, Kelly will line out to second, Happ will fly out to center, and PCA will ground out to second. In the bottom of the fourth, Shenwell will ground out to first, Mike Trout will line out to second, and Ward will ground out to third. In the top of the fifth, Swanson hits a double to left, Shaw will strike out looking, Nico Hoerner will fly out to center, and Tucker will fly out to right. In the bottom of the fifth, Moncada hits a home run on right center field to cut the Cubs' lead in half, 2-1. Adell will hit a base to right, Ohapi will ground into a double play, and Moore struck out swinging. In the top of the sixth, Fermin pitching for the Angels now. Suzuki will get walked, Bush will pinch it for Turner, and he struck out swinging, as well as Kelly. Ian Happ will get walked, and then Chafin will go in for the Angels, the acquisition for the Washington Nationals, and PCA struck out swinging. In the bottom of the sixth now, Assad still pitching for the Cubs, Bush is at first, Teodosio will ground out to third, Zach Neto will ground out to the pitcher, Shenwell got hit by the pitch, Mike Trout gets walked, and Ward will strike out looking. In the top of the seventh, Stevenson pitching for the Angels, Swanson flies out to left, Shaw will fly out to right, and Nico Hoerner will fly out to right as well. In the bottom of the seventh, Kittredge pitching for the Cubs. Moncada with the second home run of the game to tie the game at 2. Adell struck out swinging, as well as Ohapi and Moore. In the top of the eighth, Detmers pitching for the Angels. Tucker will ground out to first. Suzuki struck out swinging. Bush will hit a base at the center, and Kelly struck out swinging. In the bottom of the eighth, Keller pitching for the Cubs. Teodosio will ground out to third. Neto will foul out to first, and Shenwell will ground out to short. In the top of the ninth, Jansen pitching for the Angels. Happ will pop out to second. PCA hits a home run to right center field to make it 3-2 in favor of the Cubs. And then Swanson will ground out to short. Matt Shaw will fly out to center. A clutch home run from PCA here to give the Cubs the lead as Palencia goes in the bottom of the ninth. Mike Trout struck out swinging. Ward will ground out to short, and Moncada struck out swinging to end the game. The Cubs come away with a win by a final score of 3-2 in the opener. Keller with the win, who's 4-1 on the year, only went to 1 inning. Jansen with the loss, who's 5-4. He only pitched that 1 inning, gave up a hit and an earned run, and Palencia with his 19th save of the year, 2 strikeouts in his only inning. So my 3 starts for this game, Javier Assad was my third star, who went 6 innings pitched, gave up only an earned run and 2 hits with 4 strikeouts. PCA was my second star, who went 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI, and just because I'm feeling kind of happy for Kyle Tucker in this moment, I gave him the first star, 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Like I said, it was his first home run in a little over a month. So with that said, the Cubs win game 1, and they have a chance to double their series lead and take the series in game number 2. So in game number 2, Madero's pitching for the Angels. Bush will fly out to left, as well as Tucker, and Suzuki struck out looking. Cade Horton pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the first. Zach Neto will pop out to second. Shenwell will ground out to second, and Mike Trout struck out swinging. In the top of the second, PCA will hit a base hit to right. Happ will ground it to a fielder's choice to second. PCA is out at second, and Happ is safe at second on a throwing error by shortstop Zach Neto. Nico Hoerner will pop out to short, and Willie Castro struck out swinging. In the bottom of the second now, Ward will line out to center, Moncada will ground out to second, and Adell will fly out to right. In the top of the third, Swanson struck out looking, as well as McGuire. Bush will hit a double to right, and Kyle Tucker with another home run to make it 2-0 Cubs, and then Suzuki will ground out to third. In the bottom of the third now, Rengifo will ground out to second, Ohapi will reach on an infield single to third, Teodosio will fly out to right, and Zach Neto will strike out swinging. In the top of the fourth now, PCA will fly out to left, Happ will get walked, Nico Hoerner will also get walked, Castro will fly out to right, Happ will go to third, Swanson gets hit by the pitch, which will send Nico Hoerner to second, McGuire with a home run to center, a grand slam to make it 6-0 in favor of the Cubs here, and then Bush will fly out to left. In the bottom of the fourth now, Shenwell will fly out to right, Mike Trout struck out swinging, and Ward will fly out to right. Zephyr Hahn pitching for the Angels in the top of the fifth now. Kyle Tucker will hit a double to center. Suzuki struck out looking. PCA will fly out to second, and Happ will ground out to short. In the bottom of the fifth, Moncada will fly out to right. Adell will hit a base at the center. Rengifo will hit a base at the center. Ohapi struck out swinging, and Teodosio will fly out to center. Fulmer pitching for the Angels in the top of the sixth. Cavadas is at first. Nico Hoerner will ground out to short. Willie Castro will reach on an infield single to third. Swanson will fly out to center. Castro will go to second on a wild pitch by Fulmer. McGuire will get walked. Bush will hit a base hit to left to make it 7-0 Cubs as Castro will score. Tucker hits another home run to right center field to clear the bases, and it makes it 10-0 in favor of the Cubs here. Suzuki will reach out an infield single to second, and PCA will ground out to second. In the bottom of the sixth, Peraza will pinch it for Neto as he struck out looking. Cavadas gets walked. Mike Trout struck out looking, as well as Ward. In the top of the seventh, Fulmer still pitching for the Angels. Peraza is at short, and Owen Casey will pinch it for Happ, and he hits a double to center. Nico Hoerner will reach on an infield single to short. Casey will go to third. Castro will line out to second. Swanson hits a double to left to score Casey. Nico Hoerner will go to third to begin 11-0 Cubs, and then Garcia goes in for the Angels, and McGuire will hit a sac fly to center to score Nico Hoerner, make it 12-0 Cubs, and then Bush will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the seventh, Ben Brown goes in for the Cubs. Shaw is at third, Casey's in left, and Castro is in center. Moncada struck out swinging. Adell hits a home run to right center field, so Ben Brown gives up the shutout bid, and it is 12-1. And then Rengifo will strike out looking, and then Ohapi will fly out to left. In the top of the eighth, Peraza pitching for the Angels here as Moore will go to second. Rengifo's at short. Tucker will ground out to second, Suzuki will fly out to center, and Shaw will ground out to third. In the bottom of the eighth, Ben Brown still pitching for the Cubs. Shaw's at second, and Turner's at third. Teodosio will ground out to third. Peraza struck out swinging. Cavadas will hit a base hit to right, and Moore will line out to right. Peraza still pitching for the Angels in the top of the ninth. Casey will fly out to left. Turner will hit a base hit to center. Castro will hit a base hit to right, which will send Turner to second. Then Swanson will ground into a double play. Ben Brown is still pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. Ward will ground out to short. Moncada grounds out to first, and Adell will fly out to center. So the Cubs win this one in dominant fashion. They win 12-1, and they take the series. The win goes to Cade Horton, who's 8-4 on the year. Went 6 innings pitched. He gave up only 3 hits with 7 strikeouts. Medeiros with the loss was 0-2 on the year, 4 innings pitched, gave up 6 earned runs and 4 hits with only 4 strikeouts. Ben Brown with his first save of the year, 3 innings pitched, he gave up 1 earned run and 2 hits with 3 strikeouts. So, my 3 stars for this game, Reese McGuire was my third star, who went 1 for 2 with a home run and 5 RBIs. Cade Horton was my second star, who went 6 innings pitched, gave up 3 hits with 7 strikeouts. And my first star, once again, is Kyle Tucker, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. So, like I said, this is pretty much all you could ask for if you're a Chicago Cubs fan, just a dominant win. And the Cubs are 20 games over 500 now, and they have a chance to sweep the series in game number 3. So in game number 3, Cubs legend Kyle Hendricks, who signed with the Angels this past offseason, will pitch against his former team. He takes the bump for the Angels. So with that said, Mike Bush will ground out to first, Tucker struck out swinging, and Suzuki will fly out to center. In the bottom of the first, Tyone pitching for the Cubs. Neto will fly out to right as well as Trout. Ward hits a home run to left center field to make it 1-0 in favor of the Angels, and then Adell will ground out to first. In the top of the second, PCA will fly out to right, Kelly grounds out to short, Happ will get walked, and Nico Hoerner will fly out to center. In the bottom of the second now, Rengifo will ground out to second, Darno will foul out to the catcher, and Cavadas will fly out to right. In the top of the third, Swanson will ground out to short, Shaw hits a ground rule double, Bush will ground out to Hendricks, Shaw will go to third, Tucker will hit a base hit to left, which will score Shaw to make it 1-1, and then Suzuki struck out swinging. In the bottom of the third, Moore will ground out to second, Teodosio will fly out to right, and Neto struck out swinging. In the top of the fourth, PCA will foul out to first, Kelly will fly out to short, and then Happ will get walked. Nico Hoerner with hit double to center to score Happ to make it 2-1 in favor of the Cubs, and then Swanson will pop up to first. In the bottom of the fourth, Trout struck out swinging as well as Ward. Adell will reach on an infield single to second, and Rengifo will pop out to short. In the top of the fifth, Shaw will ground out to second. Bush will hit a base hit to right. Tucker will get walked. Suzuki will hit a base hit to left to load the bases. And then Chafin will go in for the Angels as PCA will hit a sac fly to right to score Bush. Tucker will go to third to make it 3-1. And then Kelly will hit a base hit to right to score Tucker. Suzuki will go to second to make it 4-1 in favor of the Cubs now. And then Happ struck out swinging. In the bottom of the fifth now, Darnell will ground out to first. Cavadas will fly out to right. Moore will hit a base hit to left. And Teodosio will line out to third. In the top of the sixth, Silseth pitching for the Angels now as Hoerner will reach on an infield single to third. Dansby Swanson will fly out to left. Shaw will reach on a bunt single to Silseth, and Hoerner will go to second. Bush will strike out swinging. Tucker will get walked to load the bases, and then Suzuki will ground it to a fielder's choice to short. Shaw is out at third. In the bottom of the sixth, with Kittredge pitching for the Cubs, Needle will hit a base hit to left. He stole second. Mike Trout struck out swinging. Ward will hit a double to left to score Needle to make it 4-2. Adell will ground it to third. Ward will go to third, and then Ward will score on an error. Rengifo would save it first on a fielding error by Dansby Swanson to make it 4-3. And then Rengifo stole second, but then Darnell will ground out to third. In the top of the seventh, with Burke pitching for the Angels, PCA bunt grounds out to Burke, and then Kelly will pop out to second. Happ will ground out to second. Thielbar goes in for the Cubs in the bottom of the seventh. Peraza will pinch it for Cavadas as he flies out to right. Moore will pop out to first. Teodosio will hit a base hit to left, and Nito struck out swinging. In the top of the eighth, Zephyrhan pitching for the Angels now as Peraza is at first. Nico Hoerner will ground out to second. Swanson struck out swinging, and Shaw will line out to center. In the bottom of the eighth, Keller pitching for the Cubs. Trout struck out swinging. Ward will ground out to Keller, and Adell will ground out to third. In the top of the ninth now, Fermin pitching for the Angels as Bush will fly out to left. Tucker will fly out to center. Suzuki will get walked, and PCA will ground out to first. Palencia goes in for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. Rengifo will hit a base hit to center. Darnell struck out looking. Moncada will pinch it for Peraza, and he gets walked. Lugo will pinch run for Moncada as Moore struck out swinging, as well as Teodosio. To end the game, the Cubs sweep the Angels, winning this game by a final score of 4-3. Tyone with the win, who's 9-6 on the year. 5 innings pitched, gave up Warner run and 3 hits with 3 strikeouts. Kyle Hendricks with the loss, who's 6-9 on the year. 4 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 4 earned runs and 5 hits with 2 strikeouts. Palencia hits save number 20 in this game. He gave up only 1 hit. He had 3 strikeouts in his lone inning. So for my 3 stars for this game, Kyle Tucker was my 3rd star, who went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Carson Kelly is my 2nd star, who went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Nico Hoerner is my 1st star, 2 for 4 with an RBI. So with that said, the Cubs, after this series, are now 76-55, and the Angels are 61-69. So the Cubs couldn't ask for a better series. I think the first game and the third game were a little bit closer than you would expect, especially when you're playing a team like the Angels. But like I said, the offense was struggling, but they did find a way to put up a lot of runs in game 2. So I'm not really too concerned about that just yet. I do think that the Cubs found ways to win these games, and when you go to the playoffs, that's what you have to do. So again, I would say overall a solid series from the Chicago Cubs. You got some resurging offense from Kyle Tucker, who's been silent for a month. So hopefully this was a sign of things to come for Kyle Tucker in the future. So with that said, this is my series recap to the Angels series. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter, Cubs360X. Feel free to comment your thoughts on the series in the comment section down below as well. So with that said, this is Jack from Cubs360, and as always, go Cubs go.